to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley, and today we're in Olympia. We're talking to your elected leaders about what they're working on in this session. Today, my guest is Republican Representative Maureen Walsh. She's from the 16th District, and that includes parts of Benton and Franklin counties, along with all of Columbia and Walla Walla counties. Maureen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You have sponsored a bill that would help our veterans and change some of the federal regulations.
Well, it's more an issue of we're trying to build a veterans home in Walla Walla, and we're doing it to serve veterans in Oregon and Idaho as well. And believe it or not, that has taken a bill to sort of move that forward. But we think it's a great idea, and there's certainly a need in the communities in and around Walla Walla for something like this. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah. And you're also working to try to give a B&O, a business and occupation tax break, to employers who hire the disabled.
Well, I just think it's a good idea. I think that when folks look at our people with disability in our communities, and they're out there, and I think it's important that they're out there, because I think not only does it interject a sense of humanity into our society as a whole to have our folks with disabilities working with us and next to us, but I also think that it's very commendable when a business will take that opportunity to hire a person with a disability. Sometimes there's a little bit of baggage attached to that, but it's a really important thing for them to do that. And again, I think it's well worth offering a small B&O tax break for folks who are willing to do that.
A little help.
Absolutely.
Now on to the issue of health care. You support the idea of allowing people to buy across state lines. And what are your residents telling you about that? Why is that important to you?
Well, I think with the rollout of the ACA or Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, I think that there have been some contentious issues. I know there have been some contentious issues. And I think that one way to address those is to open up the market. And I think if we can have the competition from other states and the plans that are available, I don't see why that wouldn't be a good idea. It just seems to me like competition is a good thing in the market right now. Many people who were promised that their health care costs would go down have found that's exactly the opposite. I think it's an issue that still needs to be worked on quite a bit, and so yes, I would support anything that would help consumers be able to have affordable health care, and I think being able to purchase plans from other states is probably a good idea.
Throughout your career, you have always been a big advocate of early childhood learning. And on your website, it talks about how you want to empower parents to be their child's first teacher. So what are you working on this session to continue that lifelong work of yours?
Actually, there is a very big lift this session in the early learning bill. The Early Start bill is what it's called, and it's actually being introduced by the chair of the Appropriations Committee, Representative Ross Hunter, which many people know that it has a whopping fiscal note attached to it. That being said, I'm not sure all of the advocates who work in the area of early learning are really on board yet. And I want to make sure that that's a smooth process, and one where people do understand and recognize that there may be some fluctuation, there may be some changes to the system, but we want people to buy into this. We want people to understand and recognize that we're trying to drive good quality early education and child care for kids, but absolutely making sure that we always recognize parents as the children's first teachers and make sure that we help empower those young parents to get their kids ready for kindergarten. So I'm a believer. Again, I think we have a big bill this year that's a heavy lift for a supplemental budget year, but I'm very hopeful that we can work over the interim with the advocates and get folks to buy in and understand that we can have a very strong early childhood delivery system and still work within some of the framework that we have already in place.
That we already have worked
Yes.
in. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you for your time. This is Maureen Walsh. I'm Dana Cowley, and you're watching Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today we're in Olympia.